housing market is finally showing signs of slowing down. It's been a long journey, right? We've seen housing prices skyrocket during the COVID time period, but they're coming down. And we want to talk to you about the opportunities that lie ahead, because investors are getting pretty excited as recession seems to be underway. Now, that's not a good thing, but it could be a good thing for the housing market. So, Newski, let's get right into the data, bro.
Yeah, so as always, we will be sharing the links that we share below in the description, right? So let's get right into it, as Rael said. Right now, there's this article that came out that says U.S. real estate investors are losing money on roughly 1 in 7 homes they sell, among the worst since 2016. And they're most likely going to take a hit in these 5 cities. So we will be going into this data, but Rael, like, that doesn't sound like the whole buying a home and flipping a home is working right now.
Oh yeah, not at all, at all, bro.
And I understand, it's 1 in 7. So obviously like the 6 are still doing well. So, the fear is always there. But if you actually look at the data, this is technically what's going on. So investors lose money on roughly 1 in 7, right? So it's 13.5% of homes sold in March. So in comparison though, only 4.8% of overall US homes that were sold in March sold at a loss. So we are seeing prices go down and people are selling at a loss. But then if you look at the other data, so for February, when real estate investors lost money on 14.5% of homes sold. So it's not like the data is fluctuating that much, like 14.5 and then 13.5. That means people are losing, and it's not looking like real estate's just an automatic, I'm going to buy a home, I'm going to fix a home, I'm going to flip a home is going to work. That's what was happening in 2020 and 2021 even a little bit. But let's talk about that. Do you think that this model that people are talking about and everything that we're seeing right now with this article, in terms of people are losing, money on their home that they're trying to sell, would you suggest people continue with this, bro?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think there's opportunities coming. Even if you look right there, like if you scroll up, yeah, okay. Bro, it says it right there, y'all, that the investors losing money on 14.5% of their homes sold. That's the highest rate since 2016. Just last year, last May, that's it, bro. 1 year, we were at a record monthly low of 2.8%. So from being at record lows to now being the highest rate since 2016, it shows that things are moving in the right direction as far as homes slowing down. That market was way too hot. It had to come down at some point, and things are moving in the right direction.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that, because this was going to be my next point. It says, where are homes most likely to sell at a loss? And we're going to dive into this, so make sure you guys watch the whole episode here. But it says real estate investors are most likely to lose money in markets that saw the largest surge in the home prices during the pandemic, right? So if you really think about that, we saw some crazy prices, bro, some wild prices. Airbnbs were going crazy. I just spoke to someone today who said they got into Airbnbs during that, I don't want to say like pandemic, tough time period. Obviously people passed away, but during that time period was also crazy because people were buying things, running plays, and y'all are taking losses now because you weren't paying over 500. Some people are paying literally over $200,000, $300,000 above asking, which is insane, right? So that's clearly happening. But then we even go to this. So it says, Elon Musk warns about brewing housing crisis. So Elon says a lot of crazy things, right? We made different videos about this man, but Rael, this is what I'm actually really interested in. So we know what's happening with the banks, right? Like we know what happened with regional banks, and right here it says many regional banks, said Ryan Nash, who's the managing director of the research at Goldman Sachs, have exposure to high risk commercial real estate areas such as offices. So before I make my next point, how do you feel about that piece, right? Like, obviously regional banks have exposure, but then what do you think with the work from home environment right now? How is that impacting real estate?
Yeah, I mean, the commercial real estate environment is definitely hanging on by a thread, because we know that, like you said, everybody's working from home. And then these office, the people who own spaces here, they have to renew their leases. But why renew a lease for spaces that you don't even need anymore? On top of the fact that regional banks are failing, that's a horrible combination. Commercial real estate is suffering. You can see it, especially in places like San Fran. So that market is dying. The only thing is that's not something that you're going to see all at once. Like, it kind of dies extremely slowly to the point where it's almost unnoticeable. So people kind of expect like commercial real estate to be the thing that just absolutely destroys the economy, but it's like it takes a while. Even the court cases to deal with, as far as like getting those buildings over and changing names, that the court cases is going to actually take a long time. So we got a long way before we see the real effects of that commercial real estate crisis.
And just another thing for you guys, because I know obviously real estate is the topic of today's episode. One thing I really want to pay very close attention to is Charlie Munger. So if you guys don't know who he is, I hope you do, right? But he's the vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway. So obviously one of the best companies that we've seen. Go look up the stock price, you'll see what it's about. But Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger are obviously very, very close business partners. And when they say something, it holds a lot of value, because when they evaluate companies, they're not just taking everything out of thin air. They're doing very, very critical research. So same applies to real estate. So when he says that a lot of real estate isn't so good anymore, it's because the research is basically telling us that. It says we have a lot of troubled office buildings, a lot of troubled shopping centers, because now the retail news just came out, well, people are dropping numbers in that as well, right? And a lot of troubled other properties. So it's not looking so pretty for real estate. So now I want to dive into numbers. But before we do that, if you're still watching right now, please make sure you like this video. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. But let's get straight into it, right? The U.S. housing market. So right off the bat, it said housing market nationwide were down 3.4% year over year in March. At the same time, the number of homes sold fell 19.2%, bro. 19.2%. And the number of homes for sale rose 7.7%. Supply is going up, right? Demand is going down. Simple as that. So let's break this down, bro. So when we see it says U.S. housing market overview, this is the median sales price. It's 3.4% year over year down. So what does that tell you right there, bro?
Yeah, it's showing that, like you said, like demand is slowing down. And just for the people listening audibly, that median sales price currently is $400,000. That's the median sales price.
Yep. And then it kind of ties back, right? We just talked about it. The number of homes sold, it's down. But it's not only year over year. Look all the way to 2021 over here. It was pretty high. So it's not just talking about 2022. No. We're actually pretty low compared to 2021, 2022, even a little bit of 2020 even. So yeah, it's pretty up there. Obviously, we know the interest rate, 6.5%. That's not looking too pretty. And we're the highest we've been in God knows how long at this point. So yeah, it's a lot going on in that market. And then obviously you see over here, the top 10 metros in the US with the fastest going sales price. So that means a lot of people are saying this is the area. So Myrtle Beach, South Carolina right now, prices are going up 15.4%. That's a lot, even in this market.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's funny. I see a lot of Florida in there too. Florida, North Carolina, those
we're
type
about
of
to get right into that, bro, because we're about to show them a map basically that shows everyone wants to go to the hot areas. It's clear as day right now. But when you go there, you'll be surprised what you're going to end up paying compared to what you thought you were going to pay, right? So that's another piece of it. The U.S. housing supply. So right here, the number of homes for sale, it's up 7.7%. So the reason why this is up is because people are not buying as much anymore. Demand has slowed down because of interest rates, and supply has gone up because there's more homes available for sale now. Also, something to think about, bro. I know we talk about this a lot, so let's have this dialogue real quick. A lot of people don't want to sell their home right now either.
Yeah, nah, people definitely not really trying to sell their home right now, because it's like when you sell it, you got to live somewhere, right? And when you kind of go out there, it's like, why would I get these homes out here with this interest rate? Like, the thing is, the interest rate right now is kind of what's keeping people locked into their homes, because there's people out there, a lot of people who have interest rate of 2%. Like, that's 2%. That's like so much less than it is now. We just seen that it's about 6.5. And so why leave your house when you're kind of in that situation?
That's a fact. And then that
I want to say really quick with that, by the way, I don't see people leaving their house for a while. That's kind of the issue with us having such a low interest rate, is because are we ever going to get back down to 2%? I don't see that happening anytime in the near future. So people are going to stay put, because why would you give up that rate? That's another thing to think about.
No, that's actually a great point. And then that is exactly what leads into the next point, the U.S. housing demand. That's why you're seeing homes with price drops, right? Like 14.1% of homes have seen it price go down. And that's not something we're used to. That's not something we're used to, but we're seeing it because now you're not going to be able to ask for a crib that's really worth $100,000, but you're charging $200,000. That's most likely not going to happen, because if the interest rate is so high, there's other homes available I could go to why am I paying above asking? It makes no sense. And that leads us to our last point. So right here it says top 10 most competitive cities in the US, which is like there's multiple offers being made for homes within these cities. You're not going to see like amazing, mind-blowing cities on this area, right? Like I see Richmond, Virginia. Yes, I see Seattle. I see San Jose. But most of these places I probably want to live in, which is exactly why this whole US migration trend comes in. So I know, Rel, you want to talk about this. So go ahead, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to see like Phoenix is still the number one area that people are moving to. And I know you mentioned earlier about sunny places. Look at that whole left side of the list. All of those are sunny states. Like the weather is great in those areas, and it's funny, like the prices are cheaper, the weather is great in comparison to these colder cities like New York, where it's cold and you're paying ridiculous amounts of money to live there. It don't even make sense. You might as well.
Bro, you're saying cold, but then you see New York, you see Washington's still pretty cold. Seattle is the most depressing. I mean, don't get me wrong, Seattle's great, but it's very depressing. Denver, like, come on, man. Minneapolis, like, this is not cool.
Hartford, Connecticut, all these places that get cold, they have cold winters, and it's like, why pay money to live there when you can just live somewhere sunny? I think everybody kind of woke up on that in the pandemic, especially with work from home culture. They started moving away from those major cities like San Francisco and New York and LA are still the top 3 places that people are moving away from. And shout out John Morant. What's what he be saying, Nuski?
There's a parade inside my city. Yeah. I don't know if we can shout about. We don't. I'm not gonna answer that one. But
we are not affiliated with any guns here on the Bag Talk Show. We not associated with John Wick.
No, that's a fact. The reason why I switched over to this is because, bro, I know you made a point real quick where people are moving to, right? It's interesting. You see Phoenix, you see Vegas, and I think you also see Sacramento. Yep, you do see Sacramento. It's just funny because in March, the hardest hit markets were Phoenix, Vegas, Charlotte, and Sacramento, along with Jacksonville. So it's just interesting because although people are moving there, those markets are getting hit hard because the prices were impacted. Like people were going crazy in pandemic, and now the prices are coming down, which makes sense why people are moving in, right? So it actually all ties back when you really take a look at it. So that's really the summary on this whole real estate approach right now. There's a lot going on, obviously. So we hope that you are paying very close attention to everything because, as we said, it's kind of getting spooky right now. But if you like this episode and you're still watching, thank you. We appreciate you. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Plus, hit that little notification bell because we drop
2 videos a week.
And you don't want to miss them. Bro, you actually want to promote your Discord real quick, bro?
Yes, yo, everybody, please. I have a Discord where I'm teaching everybody how to trade. You want to know how to make money fast? You want to know how to make money, not just in the stock market, we leave it there for 40 years. I'm talking about making money every single day. Literally, I'm breaking down everything. Everybody kind of knows me as somebody who's mastered the charts. So I will break down price action for you in a lovely way. Definitely, you can find me at Bag Talk Terrell. That's TYRELL. All right. In my bio on Instagram, the Discord link is right there. Sign up. And we have a discount for 50% off for the entire year. If you type in Trader Tax 101, you get 50% off for the whole year. Hit me and we'll get right.
That's a fact. Also, ladies, he is single. Now, hopefully I like this episode, man. We'll catch you on Monday. Until then, peace.
Peace.
Soundstripe.